of the transformation from student to graduate. Today is Commencement Day at Georgia Tech. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bobby Dodd Stadium, Hyundai Field here in Atlanta, Georgia, as we bring you Commencement Live, what is now about a 20-minute pre-show to take you all the way up to the start of our Masters ceremony here on campus in Atlanta. I'm Bryce Zimmerman. I'm with Georgia Tech's Institute Communications Department. I'm joined by Siobhan Rodriguez. We also have a couple more members of our team that we'll introduce you to in just a moment. But Siobhan, how can people be a part of today? Well, the biggest way that everybody can be sharing their experiences is through social media. So make sure you tag us in all those photos and use those hashtags. Hashtag GT25 and hashtag Ramblin' On. Commencement Live is all about finding out more from our student body, our wondrous student body, and we've got a couple of more members of our team over on the field. Here's Evan Atkinson. One question. All right, thank you very much, Evan. We're going to meet our first student now, Demarcus Eagle.
My name is Demarcus Eagle. I'm currently majoring in mechanical engineering. I actually attended Alabama A&M University, which is a historical black college in Huntsville, Alabama. And I then came back to Atlanta, to my hometown, where I decided to further progress my education here at Georgia Tech. I'm the first in my family to graduate with my bachelor's, and now I will be the first to graduate with my master's. So with that in mind, that definitely pushes me, knowing that I have friends and family that look up to me and wants to see me strive and pave the way for those that couldn't. In 2019, my parents took me to Dubai. That was a very great experience as far as the culture, the food, the people, the cars. I love cars. It was a very eye-opening experience for me. My favorite destination was definitely Vietnam. The food and the history, the culture, everyone there is open arms, the hospitality. Vietnam is a must if you ever plan on traveling. I definitely recommend it. Every destination definitely gave me a deeper understanding on how different we are, but also how similar we are as people. It's a great way to get a different perspective on the world. Balancing grad school while working full-time as an engineer at Georgia Power has definitely been a challenge. But it was also one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. I was able to build discipline with my time, all while applying the knowledge that I learned here at Tech to my professional career. And those factors alone have definitely made my education and profession more meaningful and purposeful. Whatever you put your mind to, you can definitely achieve it, especially no matter how difficult it gets.
Just fantastic photos from traveling all around the world. We've got Demarcus here with us, very excited for what you're going to do after your degree is completed. You walk across this stage a little bit later on today in one of the other ceremonies, but those travel pictures were phenomenal. What country had the best food in your travels?
Man, that's a good question. I'd definitely say Vietnam. Once I arrived in Vietnam, the first meal I tried was a banh mi sandwich, and I literally ate them every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Have you been up Buford Highway to check out some of the banh mi places up there?
I have not, but now I will since you mentioned it.
Yeah, you got to check that out.
Definitely. And you mentioned how, your family was a big support and how you're the first to get your bachelor's degree and now your master's. Tell us, please give us a shout out for your family or anybody supporting you online.
I'd like to give a shout out, first God, and then my parents, Jamie and Kim, love y'all, and the rest of my family, my friends, my fraternity brothers that came to visit. And it's my little cousin's birthday, Ava, so happy birthday, Ava.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday out there. Demarcus is joining a team of alumni that are graduating over 6,600 degrees conferred. Here's a message from our Alumni Association.
right. Yes, I am on the field here with Simron Patel, another one of our amazing graduates from today. So she is a double jack and also a former rec club president. So I have to ask, what is so special about the rec club here at Georgia Tech?
Yeah, I absolutely love my experience with the rec club, and our main mission is to spread joy on campus. And so I think one of my favorite memories is riding around in the rec, sticking my hand out, waving a pom-pom, going crazy, and saying hi to everyone that we walk by, and just seeing the smiles that we get to put on people's faces every single day.
No, the rec club is one of my favorite clubs, and I see you have the pin on, you got Ramble Rollers, you got a lot of different stores here. But I have to ask, you're involved with a lot of things here at Georgia Tech, but what's going to be next for you after you get to stand up today and kind of celebrate yourself?
Yeah, after graduation, I will be in New York City as a corporate and investment banker for Truist.
All right, that sounds nice. New York City it is. We'll take the chance, say hi to anybody out here, or thank you to anybody who's watching online or here today that's celebrating you.
Thank you to my parents, my brother, his fiance, and my boyfriend, Anish. I love you guys.
All right, thank you so much. But we're going to continue to introduce you to students, so let's get you back to the rec desk, Harris.
We're here with Rachel Drakeford, but first, we're going to watch a video on Rachel, and then we'll come back and talk to her.
Hi, I am Rachel Drakeford. I'm a graduating Master's of Architecture candidate here at Georgia Tech, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. So I came here to get my master's in architecture, and it wasn't an adjustment because Tech is a very rigorous school program, and coming into this environment, I had to learn how to move from a close-knit environment at FAMU that kind of felt more of a family to seeing how being kind of like the new kid on campus, how can I adjust and get all that I can from Georgia Tech. Honestly, being on the No Mas e-board has been so rewarding, and it's really just an organization for minority architecture students to come together and really fellowship, get professional opportunities, and really just build yourself educationally as well. I think having organizations like these are very important to have that sense of community to continue to drive you and to continue to allow you to prosper in your education. This past semester, actually, I went to Tokyo and did an entire architectural and urban design proposal in front of Japanese stakeholders. So that was a very overwhelming, but in a good way, experience, just being able to travel to Asia for the first time and being with my cohort in my studio class and just kind of feeling that wave of accomplishment of presenting in front of such a professional, high-level amount of people. So I think those would definitely be my highlights of my Georgia Tech career. After graduation, I really do plan on being a mentor for students. So I really want to be that person that I didn't have growing up, and to tell these children, even like high school students, that architecture is an option. And even though you don't see people of color in these fields typically, that you can be that person and you can be that resource for someone else.
All right, we got a sneak peek, a look at you here on the rec chairs just a moment ago, but Rachel's joined us now, and I want to know, what is this master's degree in architecture going to help you do? What doors will it open up for you in your career?
Well, first, my main priority will be getting my architectural license. So this master's will definitely help that. And a Georgia Tech degree will take you far, especially being here in Atlanta. So I'm excited to be able to join the prestigious alumni and really take my career further.
Now, you also mentioned that you are aspiring to be a mentor for those. What would you say to someone who wants to study architecture and doesn't really know how to get there?
Honestly, I would say just push yourself, look out all your resources. My parents put me in a design exploration camp when I was like in 10th grade, and that's really what confirmed it for me. You never know what your path may be, but see your childhood hobbies, see what really interests you, and take your passions far.
You know, you came to Georgia Tech as a transfer student from a different type of school. What was that transition like, going from where you came from to Atlanta?
The transition academically was very hard. Like I said in the video, Georgia Tech is a very rigorous school, but I had a great cohort, I had great friends, so that definitely helped me get acclimated to a new school, being the new kid, and Atlanta's home, so it was luckily not that hard of a transition.
That's amazing. And I know you mentioned, and also in the video, they have a community over here. So tell us, who's supporting you today?
I would like to shout out my family. They're over there. Thank you so much for supporting me in everything I do. I'd like to thank my friends that I gained in this program, and I would just like to thank everybody that's been supporting me my entire life.
All right, that's Rachel Drakeford. Let's go over to Evan on the field with some more of our students.
Anything? Test. Oh. Where's the camera? A little technical difficulty. Show. Okay. I don't hear anything. No audio.
All right, so we got some microphone difficulties. This is something that happens sometimes with live broadcasts. We'll check in with Evan in just a little bit, but we're going to bump up our next student. Let's meet Aya Samadi.
I'm the youngest child, and my older sister went pre-med, and I kind of saw how she went through that process. I'm going through my freshman year of high school, and she's studying for her MCAT, and I was like, not for me at all. I think my cousin actually introduced me to biomedical engineering. She said that it was kind of an overlap between medicine and engineering, and I always had that STEM-oriented mind. My dad's an engineer, my brother's an engineer, so it kind of ran in the family. My junior year, I joined a research lab, the EPIC lab here at Georgia Tech. It was a proper research lab. I had graduate students, and it was really cool. I felt like there was this network. I felt like I had a role. I think Patch Pals really came about in Capstone. We didn't even know ACC was on the table. When we first heard the news, we were like so shocked. It was very nice to have initially the Georgia Tech community going through their Inventure Prize. We went to the same meetings as them, interacted with the same set of advisors. You're representing the university, you're representing yourself, your major, your advisors, the project. It was very exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but the South Bend experience was just one that was so unique and just genuinely wonderful. I always like to say I basically blacked out on stage. Like, I could not tell you what I was saying. I know it was correct, but like, I was shaking. You couldn't see it on the camera, but like, my legs are absolutely trembling. The team I went with, phenomenal. Like, we're friends, we enjoy each other, and so it was just great to be able to go on this adventure together. My graduating class in high school was 50 people, and I went to school with them for the majority of my life. So being able to feel small and have this like tighter knit community in such a large campus was so valuable. That's just one testament to how BME really propels its students and kind of builds this wonderful environment for us.
And we've got Aya here, and I love that video because you did so many different things during your time here on campus. You're a double jacket, got your undergraduate here, 5 years to get your master's and your undergraduate. This is kind of like familiar territory for you, right? Like, you just did this not that long ago, going through graduation.
Yeah, I mean, I love this school. I could spend another 5 if they let me, or I guess if I let myself, but it's home, it's become a home, and it's one of the reasons that I loved the school in Atlanta.
And you were also very busy here as well. I mean, you won, you were the participation. Excuse me, I don't have my words today. I'm just so excited. But you participated in ACC Inventure Prize with Patch Pals, and forming community with other fellow BMA students. So tell us a little bit more about like your experience and what was it like being a part of that?
Honestly, it was one of the most incredible experiences. I think when we went into having our Patch Pals team, we had no clue what it would be. And to be standing here now, having acquired the People's Choice Award, winning Expo last year, and getting all this recognition, it's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I'm glad to have had the people around me when going through it.
I know you got to do something very special this last semester, and really the last year that you really enjoyed was being a TA, and that really kind of touched you, didn't it?
I love teaching. I love students. I love being able to make an impact. I run into my students, and it's like we're very close in age. Even right now, I TA fellow grad students as well, and it's just a great opportunity to show them what I've been doing and how they can implement that and then learn from them as well. It's just a unique opportunity.
All right, what's next for you, Aya?
So I will be participating in the startup launch here with Georgia Tech this summer, and then afterwards I will be working with Biosense Webster here in Atlanta. So as I said, Atlanta's become a second home to me, and I'm really excited to make the most of it for the next, I don't know how long, but hopefully a while.
Well, hopefully a while.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's that time. Tell us who's supporting you today.
First and foremost, obviously my family. Without you, I would not be here. And my classmates, my teammates, my friends that I made along the way who have become my second family here, who made Atlanta home, and the faculty, the department, especially the biomedical engineering community. They're one of a kind.
All right, our thanks to Aya for joining us. We're going to try this one more time. Let's go back over to Evan with a couple of our students and see if that audio's been worked out.
Technical difficulty here. I am standing here with Franklin Diaz, who's earning a degree today in computer, 20-year career in software, but he still came back to earn another degree. I have to ask you, what made you come back to earn another degree here at Tech?
Basically, education for me. I like to read a lot, so I wanted to get the degree to complement the experience that I had for 20 years.
Okay, you said you were a lifelong learner and you earned your second degree here today, but that's not it, right? Think you're earning another degree next after.
For sure.
But
audio. Once again, we've lost our audio, so really apologize for that. But we are getting closer and closer to the start of commencement. This master's ceremony at Georgia Tech, this is the third ceremony we've had in the last 2 days, the fourth ceremony overall. And then there's also the school ceremonies that will be going on. So just in case you're not aware, in this ceremony, we will not be moving across the stage and announcing names. That's going to be coming at different locations throughout campus. So if you're College of Sciences, your College of Engineering, your College of Computing, and some of the other ones as well, those are going to be happening all over. So it is like a full Saturday of master's commencements at Georgia Tech.
We are jam-packed with commencement joy today, and I really want to see those photos. So throughout the day, and those watching online, if you're walking across that stage, make sure you take those photos, and when you post them, tag us and use those hashtags GT25 and GT hashtag rambling on. I am so excited. I am losing all my words today.
That's all right. We've had, it's just been bouncing around here this morning. We really appreciate every one of you sticking with us and trying to get this done here this afternoon, or excuse me, this morning. And we'll be going into the afternoon as well. Also keep an eye to the skies and pay attention if there's any announcements throughout today. If there's some sort of weather that might come into play, we will have that announcement for you as well over the loudspeaker throughout this ceremony. We're hoping to get this one in, but we're going to have a great time here once again on Georgia Tech's campus. Well, that's going to wrap things up here for Commencement Live. Apologize to the students that we could not get on live here today. Thank you to the ones that did. And as always, follow us on social media. Be a part of the process. Georgia Tech, for all of you that have worn the white and gold, the brave and bold, all of your master's degrees will soon be conferred. All of your masterful dreams will be achieved. This is Georgia Tech's Master's Commencement Ceremony, everybody.
Good morning and welcome. Buenos dias y bienvenidos. Please rise and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. Please be seated. My name is Angel Cabrera, and I have the privilege of serving as Georgia Tech's president. Before we get started today, I would like to take a moment to recognize all veterans, active duty members, and first responders who are with us today. If you have served in any branch of the U.S. military or have served as a first responder, please rise so that we can recognize you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, families, and friends. There's a lot of noise here. Get a little electrical engineer in here. I am delighted to welcome you to the 268th commencement exercises, the Georgia Institute of Technology. It's a true pleasure to be together in celebration of these graduates and their academic achievements. We have a few messages for you today. The first one is from one of the graduated students who happens to be from the great city of Madrid. I'm only slightly biased. I am pleased to introduce Irene Feijó Cedillo, a master's degree candidate in analytics, who will give their reflection. Irene?
Earlier this year, I had the privilege of being sponsored by Georgia Tech to attend a data science conference. Now, surrounded by hundreds of incredibly smart and driven people from all over, the opening speaker posed that question to us. So I'm going to repeat it for all of us here today. What is the most important step? Now, a lot of you may be thinking, everyone knows the answer to that one, that's easy. The most important step is obviously the first one. Well, I think we can all admit that first step is definitely a hard one. For example, the first time you decided to apply to a master's program. Maybe that implied leaving the safety of your current job, or juggling a full-time course load on top of work. Or, if you're anything like me, maybe it meant that the adult world was still too scary and what you really wanted was just one more year of classes. It could be the first time you log into a Zoom class and realized there's a tech comp plot against you today and the speakers, Wi-Fi, and camera have all turned off before your exam. Or it could be the first time you realized it's physically impossible to squeeze your entire professional pitch into a 300-character LinkedIn message to someone who has your dream job. First steps are definitely hard. But that conference speaker offered a different perspective. He said, "In every story of growth, the most crucial step has always been the next one." The next one? The next step is deciding to wake up again for that 8 a.m. Monday morning class, even though you know chances are you'll only end up more confused. But you told yourself you'd finish with an A in that class, so you get up and go. The next step is figuring out if your outfit is more business or casual before heading off to your 30th interview that month. But you promised yourself you'd find a job in your field before year's end. From these shared experiences, we know that first steps can be scary and exciting, but it's the willpower to keep taking that next step that actually carries us to our goals. Now, maybe this conference speaker was onto something, but I don't know. As I walked up here today, looking around at all of us gathered here, I thought to myself, what if the most important step is the last one? The last time you went to Trivia Thursday at Rockies with your friends, or the last time you pulled an all-nighter to finish that assignment, the last time you splurged on that Caldi's coffee, or the last time you opened Canvas to check if that regrade had finally gone in. It's the step where you realize it took so many steps, but you did great. You are here, and you made it. It is therefore with bittersweet feeling that I look back on the path I've had the privilege to follow and look forward to the crossroads ahead. We leave Georgia Tech not just with new knowledge, but with the confidence that we can always take that next step, no matter how daunting it may seem. So, class of 2025, I ask you once again, what is the most important step? Regardless of which one stuck with you today, I know that as we walk across the stage, I, for one, am excited to take this step with all of you. So congratulations, and go Jackets!
Thank you, Whoa, are you awake yet? Gracias, Irene. Thank you. So graduates, today you will be joining a very impressive family of Georgia Tech alumni. This is a community of leaders, of innovators, of thinkers and doers who are making a difference across our state, the country, and around the world. Many of them are here to celebrate your success, and I would bet that no one really comprehends the magnitude of what you've achieved better than they do. So if there are any alumni with us today, please stand so we can also recognize you. Any Georgia Tech alums? Fantastic. I love it. And if you had anything to do to convince these people to study at Georgia Tech, thank you. We love repeat customers. It's great. So now to welcome you formally into the Fellowship of Georgia Tech Alumni, it is my pleasure to introduce Tommy Harrington, an industrial management graduate of the class of 1982 and the chair of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association Board of Trustees. Tommy?
Good morning. As President Carrera said, I am Tommy Harrington, a proud alumnus and chair of the Alumni Association Board of Trustees. Graduates, you are now a member of one of the most powerful and coveted networks in the world, the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. You are alumni, along with more than 200,000 of your closest Tech family members. While each of your pursuits is unique, and the contributions of our alumni span every industry on every continent, we are proud together, proud of Georgia Tech's reputation, proud of each other's accomplishments, and proud of the hard work that went into earning your degree. We also share traits from our time at Tech. We share the ability to problem solve and persevere. When we work together to take on life's biggest challenges, we can. When we set out together to change the world, we will. And when we join together to make a difference, we do. One of the biggest ways you can make a difference is through the roll call. For 78 years, this Fund for Excellence has positively impacted current and future students. You may notice some fellow graduates who are wearing their little roll call pins as part of their regalia. And we thank these students who have already given to Roll Call, which will support other students and the Transforming Tomorrow campaign. And we share the value of community. No matter where you go, you will find other Yellow Jackets along the way who will open doors for you. The only thing more powerful than your degree is the relationships that you take with you. We encourage you to get involved with the Alumni Association. We will provide you with job leads, networking opportunities, events on campus and in your local communities, and future friendships. Georgia Tech will always be your home, and the Alumni Association is with you for a lifetime. Welcome to the family, and go Jackets.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Tommy. So this weekend, we celebrate 6,600 graduates from the Georgia Tech class of 2025. This is the biggest graduating class we've ever had, and that includes over 3,100 bachelor's degrees, 225 PhDs, and today we celebrate 3,320 master's degree recipients. Now, the master's candidates we honor today come from all over the state of Georgia, from all over the country, and they represent 53 countries. And I love to think about the fact that all the talent that is gathered right here together, they know how to build satellites and robots, bridges, and medical devices. They can create and run businesses. They can help shape better policy. They know chemistry and biology and psychology. They can mine intelligence from complex data. They understand how markets work. They understand how government works. They understand what our collective history teaches us about our future. These people have traveled the world. They can communicate in dozens of languages. They have learned to listen to others, to respect what others have to say, even when they disagree. They have learned to work with people who are different from themselves. They're confident, capable, creative problem solvers. They have learned the power of collaboration. These people have been empowered to lead. And for all those reasons, I'm extremely hopeful about the future. But here's the catch. For all this potential to make a difference, there's something you need to remember, and those are the two words on our seal that we've printed behind me so you never forget them: progress and service. These two words define us as a community. They signify our belief in the power of innovation and ingenuity to serve a greater purpose, to improve the human condition. We don't believe in technology for its own sake, but because of its potential to help people live better lives. That's what we do. Now, some of you are already working for some of our most successful leading companies, and you will help them do better. You will join companies, you'll contribute to their success. Others, increasingly many of you, will create your own startup. By the way, I have an announcement that I don't want you to miss. If you've been hesitating whether you want to take the dive and do your startup, this is a good weekend for you. Yesterday, our fellow Yellow Jacket, Chris Klaus, who spoke at Commencement, he made an offer and promised a gift to any of you who wants to incorporate your startup. If you want to create a C Corp in Delaware, that's the first step. Talk about Irene's idea, your first step to incorporate your startup. Chris will cover the expenses for you to do that. That's what he offered yesterday. So yes, so if you were waiting for some divine signal that this is your time to start your startup, Chris is sending you that. It will come in the form of an email that you will receive saying, click here, and that will take you in a very interesting journey. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Whether you join a big company whether you create a startup. Some of you will go into academia. Some of you will work for government. I know you'll be successful. I know enough about you. But remember, the true success won't be measured by how much money you make, but by the value that you create for others. Now, don't get me wrong, money you will make. I've seen the statistics. I know some of you will make a ton of it. Good for you, and actually good for us, because when you're rich and famous, Mr. Harrington here and I will find you. We know where you live. We have great database. I'll remind you where you got your master's. And by the way, I have a beautiful building right around the corner that I'm saving for your name on it. So nothing wrong with it. In fact, good luck with you making money. But I do want you to remember that at the end of our journeys, what will make you proud, what will make all of us proud up here and in the stands, is what you did to lift others up, is what you did to make a difference in the world. No pressure. As we like to say around here, we can do that. And I know you will. Now, today we celebrate your accomplishments and your potential, and I want to thank you in advance for all the things you're going to be doing. Now, joining us here in person and many online are family members, friends, colleagues whose love and support have helped make this day possible. These yellow jackets right here, they know they would not be celebrating today if it weren't for each one of you, for the support you gave them. So for that reason, I want to thank each one of you for that support. Thank you. Now, I'm honored to introduce some members of our leadership team and the faculty who are joining me here on the platform. Please hold your applause as they stand when I call their names. Larry Jacobs, our Senior Vice Provost. Michelle Reinhardt. Some of you weren't paying attention to the instructions. It's all right, it's all right. Follow your heart, follow your heart. Michelle Reinhardt, Vice Provost. Bonnie Ferry, Vice Provost for Graduate Education. Nelson Baker, the interim inaugural Dean of the College of Lifetime Learning. David Joyner, Associate Dean of the College of Computing. I knew you would not be able to hold your applause for that one. Mary Honeycheck Boswell, Interim Chair of the School of Computing Instruction. Thomas Plitz, Professor of School of Interactive Computing. Alasdair Young, Interim Associate Dean of the Van Allen College of Liberal Arts. Leslie Sharp, Dean of Libraries. Tim Lewin, Executive Vice President for Research. Abigail Tumpy, Vice President of Institute Communications. John Stein, Associate Vice President and Dean of Students. Jeremy Gray, Interim Registrar. And very special, our mace bearer today is our Provost, Stephen McLaughlin. Stephen, this is his very last commencement ceremony at Georgia Tech, because he has been appointed the new president of the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art in New York City. We're extremely proud of him and grateful for his 29 years of extraordinary service to Georgia Tech. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I know some of you may not believe it, but we are all fully aware of how hard we made you work. We understand the obstacles you had to overcome these past few years, and we congratulate you for crossing the finish line. Now, some of you know I've played different roles at Georgia Tech over the years. I've been a student here, an alum, a parent, an advisor. Now I serve as president. I even found my spouse, Beth, here, who's with us today. So I know very well that being a yellow jacket is something very special. I know the meaning of having that diploma. And I know that nothing that I have accomplished in my life would have been possible without the degree, with the things I learned here, with the people that I met here. And now it's your turn. You are forever connected to this great institution, and we cannot wait to see the great things you will continue to do. So it's time to look ahead, to push forward, to take that next step, to go out and make an impact on the world like only Yellow Jackets can. Congratulations, class of 2025. All right, so I know how special this day is, so I have a treat for you. I have invited a very, very special person to give you your last lecture at Georgia Tech. Maybe the last lecture for the time being. You can still come back for a PhD. So it is my honor to introduce Andrea LaLiberty, a distinguished Georgia Tech alumna whose career includes leadership roles in logistics, academia, and philanthropy. After earning 2 degrees from Georgia Tech, LaLiberty rose through the corporate world, ultimately serving as Senior Vice President of Distribution and Consumer Service at Coach, where she played a pivotal role in scaling the company's operations globally and supporting its initial public offering. Following her corporate success, she spent several years at Georgia Tech, working as an executive in residence and professor of practice in the Milton Stewart School of Industrial and Systems Engineering. Andrea's commitment to the Institute is evident through her service, including the Georgia Tech Foundation, the College of Engineering, External Advisory Board, and the Georgia Tech Alumni Association Board of Trustees. But here's what she did last year. A couple of years ago, she came to me with a big idea and a big gift. She wanted to honor the women who have made Georgia Tech be what it is today. And it hasn't always been easy. Women were not allowed to study at Georgia Tech for about half of our existence, and then for many years they were in the minority. She wanted to honor them. So because of her leadership and her generosity and the other women that she was able to recruit with her, we now have this beautiful, striking, permanent installation in the middle of campus called Pathway of Progress. Those of you who are visiting campus, you cannot leave Atlanta today, okay? You cannot leave this place today without taking a walk to the center of campus and enjoying this beautiful installation that will inspire generations of girls and young women to pursue whatever career in science and technology or whatever they choose at Georgia Tech. And that would not be possible without Andrea. But before I turn the podium to her, we have one exciting order of business to attend. She is receiving an honorary doctorate from Georgia Tech. This is a big deal. This is the biggest honor that Georgia Tech can bestow on any individual. So I invite you to go to the front of this so they can see you. Oh, I'll give you the actual degree. The hood, all right? And I'm going to read the citation on her honorary degree. The President and faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, to all to whom these presents may come, greeting. Whereas Andrea LaLiberty is an inspirational and visionary leader in industry as a former executive at Coach, one of the most prestigious global luxury brands, and professor of the practice in the H. Milton Stewart School of Industrial and Systems Engineering, has demonstrated her commitment to her alma mater through extensive volunteer service and leadership on multiple boards, has forever transformed Georgia Tech through significant philanthropy directed to undergraduate scholarships, intercollegiate athletics, and Pathway of Progress, celebrating Georgia Tech women. An installation honoring decades of Georgia Tech women's achievements. Now, therefore, we do hereby confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining.
So, good morning, everyone, and congratulations to all of you. We're going to do a slight change here for two reasons. Number one, I will tell you the emotions that are running through me. I mean, I would bleed like white and gold right now. Georgia Tech has meant so much to me, what it has done for me, and to receive this just can't be beat. I had a lot of what President Cabrera said about me, I had in my speech. So we're gonna kind of go a little off script. When it was announced I was gonna be a speaker, everyone said, oh, can't wait to hear your words of wisdom. So the first thing that does is put a lot of pressure on you. So I'm gonna do my best. I thought, as I've gone through this journey with Georgia Tech, my professional career, my time giving back, there are some things I learned along the way. And the first piece I'm gonna share with you is what my parents actually taught me. And it took me many, 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 many years to realize this was actually pretty smart. First was work hard. Put in the time, do the job. The second was to give back. Give back of your time, of your talent, and financially, no matter how small. And the third, and this came from my mom, was to be tenacious. Don't let something stop you. Find a way to get it done. And that has really helped me down my path. I worked for Coach, the handbag company. I mean, how good is that? And, okay, I will share, when I left, I did negotiate, so I have my employee discount for life. So, yay. But during that time, and prior to that in consulting, I'm an engineer. I like equations. I came up with my own. My equation to maximize success. 3 parts. First is, have to have ability, right? So, obviously, you're graduating from Georgia Tech with a master's degree. Some of you already have your bachelor's from here. You have ability, but you need to continue to learn. For me, that was like saying, okay, what else can I do? Can I take on some additional responsibilities? What's a special project I can do? It was learning about all the competitors that we had. And it wasn't just in my field of logistics. It was, where are the opening retail stores? What's their new it bag? And yes, maybe if I had to purchase it and use it to test it out, I would do that. And the third is, no matter what you do, you need to be excited about it. This, to me, is the most important part of the equation. You need to be doing something so that in the morning, when you wake up, you pop out of bed, and you're like, let's go. That's how you maximize success. And for the 19 years I was with Coach, put in perspective, when I joined, we were just over $100 million in sales. When I left 19 years later, we were just under $2 billion. And that was all organic growth. That was not through acquisitions. And we did do an IPO and we went public, and I do love stock options, I will admit. But what I found is, for most of my years and what I did, it was great. But then one day, I'll never forget, I was standing in a new distribution and customer service center in Shanghai, and I looked around and I was like, okay, I've been there, done that. The excitement was gone. So I knew it was time for me to move on. Now, the good news for me, here's my third grouping of wisdom, is I had always saved a portion of what I earned, no matter how small. And I thought about, where did this, as I was preparing it, where did this come from? Well, I was a little girl, I'll date myself. We had things called, our bank had this thing called a Christmas club account. And every week you would get at the start of the year a book of coupons. And every week we would go to the bank and I would turn my coupon in with $1. So at the end of the year, I had $50 to spend on Christmas gifts. Now, as I thought about it as an adult, I'm like, okay, it wouldn't have made a lot of interest, but shouldn't I have at least gotten like 5 cents? I didn't get that. But it drove me to always save a portion of what I earned. And when that became large enough, I invested. And that gave me the financial freedom that when I had lost that excitement, I was able to take time off. And I did things I never had time to do. I traveled a lot before, but for work. But this way, I always spent time with family. I took cooking lessons. You need something cooked now, I can do it. Before, no. I traveled. I had the opportunity, I snorkeled with penguins. I watched polar bears migrate in Canada. All those exciting things. But then I was like, all right, now what? It was time. Just so happened, I had 2 opportunities come to me in a 1-week period. And opportunities is that third part of the equation because you have to have opportunity. You can create them or they can come to you. So I had 2. One was with a competitor of coaches, and one was to return to Georgia Tech as a professor of the practice. And I thought about it, and I weighed, and they had a lot of pros and cons. 1, I would be making money. 2, I would be giving back more money. But because I had that financial freedom, after 30 years away from Georgia Tech and Atlanta, I chose to come back as a professor of the practice. And I must tell you, it is one of the best decisions I have ever made because I immersed myself in everything Georgia Tech. In addition to teaching, I advised students, I spoke to many student groups, I served on a faculty committee, I attended every type of sporting event that existed. We'll tell you track and field, if there's any track and field people here, good job, but going to a track and field meet for the entire day is a long investment, but it was worth it. And I was able to give back of my time through volunteering, being on the trustee of the Georgia Tech Foundation, and probably the biggest honor until today, being chair of the Alumni Association. I soon realized just how amazing Georgia Tech faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends are. It is truly a family. But as we used to say back when I went here, after 5+ years, it was time to get out again, and I went back to Jacksonville, Florida. Life was good, kind of doing my thing. COVID started, and about 6 months into COVID, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And first of all, let me just say, I'm not just a survivor of breast cancer, but I am a thriver. But thank you. It is, and thank you to all, any type. My treatment lasted 6 months. And because of when it was occurring, COVID, no vaccine, my oncologist basically told me, you can't be with any people. So I spent 6 months having a lot of quality time with myself. And during that, maybe my thoughts were all over the place, but I kept coming back to my experiences that occurred while I was back at Tech. 3 things stood out. Number 1, as I met with female students during that time, they were having some of the same experiences that I had in the 70s, late 70s and early 80s. And these, I'm not talking about necessarily positive experiences. They were, where no one would want to partner with them in a lab, not enough restrooms, and just not being listened to in group sessions. In addition, they had limited exposure to the successful women that had graduated from Georgia Tech. Sec 2, in my role as chair of the Alumni Association, I had the opportunity to meet amazing Georgia Tech women and hear their stories. In fact, I can remember at one dinner, there was about 10 of us, 10 women, all related to Georgia Tech, On one side of me was an astronaut. On the other side was an Olympic gold medalist. I mean, where else can you find that but Georgia Tech? But we didn't know their stories. No, it was like, okay, wow. And then the third, okay, being on campus, you know, look around, not many women's names up and about on buildings. And I hope all of you, a portion of you, are able to put your name on a building. Doesn't matter to me who you are, but I would like to see more women out here with facilities and with being told their stories. An idea was brewing. I created my opportunity. And as President Cabrera said, I met with him in June of 2021. I said to him, so I have this idea. And that idea became Pathway of Progress, celebrating Georgia Tech women. What is unique about this installation on campus? A couple things. First of all, it's a living installation. It will be added to every year. Names will be added. It's also unique for its focus on women. And not as unique, but what makes it even better, it was designed by an alumna, Merica Mae Johnson. And what it does is shares the accomplishments of alumni in their own words. And right now there's over 100 women that stories are being told. This installation is not about one person. It's not about me. It's about all Georgia Tech women. And what we do, how we can inspire, and what we will do in the future. I will tell you, having spent a business career and now in the last 15 years being more focused on philanthropy, giving back, and doing it not just financially, but of my time, and I like to say talent. It's hard to do that. When you're in this role, when you're doing that, you're always advising. You're never necessarily like leading or making decisions. So I will tell you, I had the pleasure of meeting many Georgia Tech people during this project. There were times where I had to use my tenacity, and I think I came out a more patient person. But what it looks like, what it is doing, I look at what I have done, the accomplishments I've had, it's at the top. When we did the ribbon cutting in March, there were over like 200 to 300 people there. And there are women whose stories that were being told. Some that were in some of the first classes of women from Georgia Tech. So they graduated in like the late 50s. There were some students, there was a whole mix. But what stood out was just how proud everyone was of their accomplishments and how thrilled they were to be able to tell their story. I stood there that day and like joy filled my heart. Now, I said it was for everyone. I will share one thing that I made about me. Any of you granite experts out there? Probably not. Okay, here's what you need to know about granite. There's 2 cities in the United States that call themselves the granite capital of the United States. There's some town in Georgia that does it, and then there's Barry, Vermont. Well, that's where I was born. Barry, Vermont. So I truly believe it's the granite capital of the US. So the one thing I asked for from the very first day of this project was somewhere I needed a piece of granite from Barry, Vermont. Not for me, but to represent and my way of paying homage to my parents. And I'm proud to say it's there. We think it's probably the only piece of Vermont granite on campus. And I can go back and look at it and go, okay, that's for me. So in conclusion, go out there, use your talents, find your opportunities, and most importantly, do what excites you. That will bring you the most success and the most joy. And know that it can be a balance of working, being successful, making money, but never forget to give back. And you give back in 3 ways: time, talent, or financially. That will bring you the most in terms of blessings. So congratulations to you and your family, and go Jackets.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Now we come to the time that we've been waiting for, the conferring of your degrees. And I'm pleased to welcome Provost Steve McLaughlin, who will introduce the academic deans by college. The deans will present the degree candidates.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, this is my last graduation. The school that yells the loudest as I call your name, I don't know, we'll give some prize. You get to start a company. Dean Vivek Sarkar will present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Computing.
All right. College of Computing, and I see you all over there. College of Computing candidates for the Masters of Science degrees, please rise and cheer as loud as you can. And let's everyone join in cheering these awesome graduates. President Cabrera, it is my privilege to present our exceptional candidates for these Masters of Science degrees who have completed the requirements of these degrees, whether on campus or online. They are the most innovative, technology-driven, and socially responsible individuals who have demonstrated unparalleled dedication in completing the rigorous requirements of these master's degrees from the College of Computing. They will do us proud.
Okay, we're going to do the next group. Interim Dean Richard Utz will present candidates for the master's degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts.
All right. Candidates for Master of Science degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts, please rise and cheer. There are fewer of us, but I will say you are fantastic. President Cabrera, the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts provides students with knowledge and skills that enable them to work across technological and non-technological realms, to define and solve complex problems, and to develop tech savvy that distinguishes them from their professional peers. Today, I have the honor of presenting you those candidates for Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Associate Dean Javier Irizarry will present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Design.
Candidates for Masters of Science degrees in the College of Design, please rise and cheer. Presidente Cabrera, the College of Design develops new technologies, anticipates the future of buildings and environments, and changes the way people experience art, everyday objects, and their immediate surroundings. Today, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees.
Dean Anuj Mehrotra will present the candidates for master's degrees in the Scheller College of Business.
Good morning. Candidates for the MBA and MS degrees in the Scheller College of Business, please rise and show us some Scheller spirit. Awesome. President Cabrera, I joined the world-class faculty of the Scheller College of Business to present these candidates who will fuel economic prosperity globally. These candidates for the MBA and MS degrees have been stellar at Scheller and completed the requirements of their degrees. Thank you.
Assistant Dean John Cameron Tyson will present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Sciences. Candidates for the Master of Science degrees in the College of Sciences, please rise and cheer. President Cabrera, the College of Sciences is developing leaders and scientific solutions to improve the human condition and create a better world. Today, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees. Thank you. Congratulations. Associate Dean Matthew Block will present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Engineering.
Candidates for Master of Science degrees in the College of Engineering, please rise, cheer, and make some noise. I think we win. President Cabrera, not only is the College of Engineering the largest in the country, it is consistently ranked among the nation's top engineering programs with a reputation as a global leader and innovator. Today, I have the honor of presenting you those candidates for Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees. Congratulations, engineers.
President Cabrera, I think they're ready for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Provost McLaughlin. Will all graduates please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology and by authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer upon each of you the degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Graduates, to symbolize your achievement, you may move your tassel on your mortarboard from the right to the left. Please join me in congratulating these impressive new graduates of Georgia Tech. Congratulations. And now we ask that you please remain standing while the platform party recesses, and then I invite all of you to join in the singing of the best fight song in the world, the Rambling Wreck, Georgia Tech, and graduates should remain in their seat until the conclusion of the fight song. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
whiskey thin. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. Well, if I had a daughter, so I'd dress with wine and gold and put her on the campus to cheer the brave and bold. Well, if I had a son, I'd tell you what you do. He would yell to hell with Georgia, like his daddy used to do. I wish I had a barrel of rum and sugar 3,000 pounds, a college bell to put it in and clapper to stir it round. I drink to all good fellows who come from far and near. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer. Hey!
Of Computing, you could start to head out to your next ceremony. Same with you guests. If you're a College of Computing guest or graduate, you are welcome to stay in the venue. Thanks, graduates, and have a great commencement day.